Morning, I've got your energy stories for the last week of August 2021. As the emerging energy economy continues to grow, its trajectory could be negatively affected by a shortage of skilled workers. So leading residential solar installer SunRun is taking matters into its own hands and announced last week the launch of PowerU, an employee education and upskilling program to train and develop its workforce. So SunRun's teaming up with learning platform company Guild Education to offer 150 fully funded education and upskilling programs in bachelor's and master's degrees covering multiple topics including sustainability management, electrical engineering, information technology, environmental science, supply chain management, data science, and of course solar installation. As we move forward, more companies are going to have to pick up this challenge of educating their workforce, or we're not going to get where we need to go. In two letters this month, the EPA urged the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission to revise draft environmental reviews covering two natural gas projects to include a social cost of carbon in order to better understand their implications. The EPA estimated that the Columbia Gulf Transmission's proposed Louisiana gas facilities would cause over $205 million in climate damages on an annual basis, while the Iroquois Gas Transmission's proposed Northeast project could result in over $144 million in annual damage. The FERC isn't bound by such advice, but with Democrats in the majority at present, it's a safe bet they'll do something. Backup energy supply company Generac announced that its home standby generators, commercial industrial generators, and its power cell solar and battery systems are now smart grid ready. What this means is the customers can now sell power back to the grid from Generac's units. The smart grid ready capabilities are being offered through the Enbala Concerto platform. You might recall that Generac bought DER tech company Enbala in October of 2020. And analysts were looking at that going, I wonder what's going to happen here. Well, now it's pretty clear what is going to happen. Generac is putting a stake in this DER evolving environment, and with that software, they hope to make a real splash. Last week, Toyota said it will make hydrogen fuel cell modules in the United States starting in 2023. The fuel cell stacks will be part of a 1,400-pound module kit that can replace traditional heavy-duty diesel engines in large Class 8 semi-trucks, the big ones you see on the highways. Sticking with mobility, China has over 2 million electric vehicle charging units, which are also referred to as piles, as of the end of July 2021. And for the first 7 months, there were 334,000 charging units added across China, including 143,000 public and 191,000 private. Here in the U.S., Ford has announced it's going to double production targets for its electric F-150 Lightning truck, going up to 80,000 by 2024, up from the original 40,000 target. Reuters indicates this decision is a result of the unexpectedly strong demand. Unnamed sources tell Reuters that a second generation of the Lightning, the first pickup on Ford's new TE1 platform, is planned for the end of 2025, and they're planning on 160,000 units to be produced. Now let's turn to batteries. Chinese battery behemoth Contemporary Amperex Technologies, or CATL, just presented a sodium-ion cell with plans to produce these by 2023. Why is that important? There's no cobalt, no lithium, and no nickel needed in the bill of materials. And sodium is quite common, so the cost could be significantly lower. In the beginning, CATL plans to mix sodium and lithium cells in batteries because the sodium doesn't have quite all the desired characteristics. And so they need to compensate for some of the weaknesses with the lithium batteries. CATL appears to have solved some of the vexing issues with sodium, such as the initial loss of 20% during the initial charging. But the CEO announced they perform well in cold weather and really well in fast charging scenarios. Look, CATL has 5,000 battery researchers at present. Did we expect they wouldn't make any progress? And sticking with batteries, California-based Sakuu Corporation doesn't have 5,000 researchers, but it apparently knows how to do 3D printing pretty well and has initiated construction of a 2.5 megawatt-hour pilot line for printed production of solid-state batteries. The plant's scheduled to be completed this year and will serve both as a pilot production line and as a customer learning center. And finally, in Australia, rooftop and utility-scale solar generated more power than coal for the first time in that country's history on Sunday, August 22nd. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week.